Welcome back. It's new comic book day, and we're taking a look at the much anticipated new Spectacular Spider-Man issue 1, Brand New Day. Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin of crime, has built an empire of secrets, but even the biggest wall has a crack, and Spider-Man just found it, the Lexicon, a master ledger that documents every good or bad person, every bribe, every illicit deal keeping New York's underworld afloat. Punisher has also caught wind of it and wants to use it to draft his latest kill list. He's not the only one though. Mr.Negative is moving to seize the intel for himself, viewing it as the ultimate key to the total power. And if you don't know who Mr.Negative is, during the day he's Martin Lee, a philanthropist, but the Underworld knows him as Mr.Negative, a ruthless crime lord. Driven by dark force energy, he can corrupt souls with a single touch. With that background, let's just jump right in. We're at the Fisk Tower at night, a building that is minutes away from becoming the former headquarters to the Kingpin of crime. As he walks in, he says only essentials, anything else can be purchased abroad. Fisk prepares to leave when he hears a slurping sound and turns around as we see Spider-Man chilling in Fisk's chair with a soda as he says, "Hey Willie, I hear you're heading out of town. You know, if you need a book for your flight, you should check this one out. It's a real page turner." Fisk lunges at Spider-Man, screaming, "Blasted bug, give me that," as Spidey backflips away, taunting him. "Oh, so you've read it. Don't tell me how it ends. By the way, you owe me a soda. You fool, you have no idea what that's worth." He goes, "This old thing? The legendary Lexicon of crime? A secret ledger of every major illegal enterprise in New York City? Dude, I got a bet with Moon Knight that this is an urban myth." Kingpin, "This is your last chance, Wallcrawler. Hand it over, or I won't just have you killed. I'll have your entire family." Fisk's eyes widen as he realizes something is wrong with his memory. "Wait, I used to know who you were. Why can't I remember it?" He throws the desk at Spider-Man as he's yelling, "You unmasked yourself. I saw it. We all did." Spider-Man leaps out of the way, holding onto the Lexicon as Fisk continues, "I hired someone to gun you down. The real you, not the spider. The man, you should be dead. What happened?" Spidey, "I'll tell you what happened. They missed me." Spidey confronts a confused Kingpin. "Don't you remember what I did next?" As he responds, "No." Spider-Man goes on the attack. "I beat you, Fisk, within an inch of your life and left you broken body as a message for anyone who'd go near my family again." Fisk struggles with a mental block as he says, "I remember that, but I can't see your face. How are you doing that?" Spider-Man unleashes a flurry of strikes as he says, "Who knows, maybe I knocked it out of you along with your 8th grade algebra and any sense of decency." Fisk, reeling, humiliated, says, "Tell me, damn it," as Spidey responds, "This is really getting under your skin, isn't it? Good." Spidey, holding onto the Lexicon, says, "I know about the deal you made with Daredevil. You're leaving the country, starting a new life and not looking back. Great. We'll all be glad to see you go. But here's where we stand. If you tell any of the crime families that I have the Lexicon, I'll be sure to tell them how you lost it. From now on, I know all your secrets, Fisk, and you know none of mine." Fisk adjusts his tie, trying to regain a shred of composure as he says, "Very well, but at least leave me with this. How in the hell did you pull this off?" Spidey starts to exit as he says, "That's easy, Willie. Magic. You see, from here on, anything's possible because a brand new day," as we see Spider-Man swinging triumphantly with a Lexicon in hand over the New York City skyline. Here we have the recap and visual history of the Civil War. How did we get here? It began with the superhero Civil War, where heroes fought each other over whether they should be registered with the government or be allowed to keep their identities a secret. In a pivotal moment, Spider-Man went on live TV and unmasked himself, revealing to the whole world that he was Peter Parker. And when the war ended, Peter and his family found themselves targeted and on the run. And it was one of them who almost paid the ultimate price. Parker knew that somehow his secret identity had to be restored, so Spider-Man had his friend, Dr. Strange, the master of mystic arts, perform a spell to make everyone forget he was Peter Parker. Even Strange himself, from that point on, he was the Spectacular Spider-Man, and this was his brand new day. A week later at the East River Fish Market, Spidey, wearing a beanie and scarf over his suit, confronts the villainous eel. Why on earth can't I hit you? Look at that. Every punch and kick just slides right off. Because I'm the eel, you moron. A villain for hire, and that's my power. As Mobster in the background yells, hey, the Magia doesn't pay you to gab. You're here to protect our operation, so fry him already. As we see a close-up of eel yelling, shut up, I know what I'm doing. Spidey gets zapped but keeps the quips coming. Ooh, slippery and zappy. I think I'll call you Electro. As the eel propels the final blast, Spider-Man has a science experiment ready. Who'd have thunk that? All these years at the Magia's secret counting house was in the freezer of a fish packing plant. Whoa, some of these are 50s. You guys are rolling in it. The eel, what are you doing? As Spider-Man says, a surprise science experiment. Spider-Man swings a massive frozen bluefin tuna as he yells, tuna surprise! Let's see what happens when I hit you with something equally slippery. The eel hits the floor hard. The slippery defense didn't account for the 500 pounds of frozen fish. The Magia thugs throw up their hands as they say, easy wall crawler, we give. Guys, put down your guns. Spidey stands over the fallen villain as they continue. Now put down the tuna, okay? As Spidey goes, what? You guys are giving up over the fish? That's the $2.5 million bluefin tuna, Webbs. It's worth more than the money. Spidey reflects for a second. A $2.5 million fish? It'd be easy just to take a handful of this cash or the fish. Why do I have to be so responsible all the time? All right, great power, yada yada. Spider-Man perched high above the grimy docks, calling into a police radio as we hear, this is your friendly neighborhood watch, calling Captain Yuri. As we see Captain inside her unmarked car respond, this is Yuri, how can we help you, neighbor? He responds, quick tip, if you look inside the fish market, you should find the Magia crime family's money counting operation with all the employees and ill-gotten gains webbed up in a nice little package. Sorry, you cut out for a second. You said wrapped up, is that correct? Yeah, what you said, signing off. As we see Spider-Man fumbling with the radio, putting it away in his utility belt as he reflects of his choice of words. Webbed up, what was I thinking? Yuri can't be seen working with a masked vigilante like me. Spider-Man swings away as we see below the flashing lights of police cruisers as he continues narrating. The important thing is Yuri's men can safely take things from here, and it's kind of nice to have a friend in the force again, even a secret one. Yuri steps out of her vehicle looking up at the skyline where the mysterious partner just vanished. She knows she's walking a thin line as she says, don't know if you can still hear me, pal, but thanks. As someone in a nearby van is watching from the shadows. As we move closer, we hear it's the Punisher, and he's not impressed by the non-lethal approach as he narrates, of course, the cop and the Spider are working together. This is the 5th major takedown in less than a week, all perfectly executed with 0 casualties. Amateurs. How does that help anyone? Months from now, all that scum will be back on the street again. As we see Frank Castle in the pit of the van, I've been casing this location for 9 days. If I'd struck first, it would have provided a more permanent solution. As we see Punisher holding a scanner, as he continues to narrate, Punisher's War Zone. Tonight, I finally got it. The Spider and the cop's private frequency. We see the massive DB logo shining atop of a glass skyscraper, the new home of the tabloid formerly known as the Daily Bugle. We hear, now Mr. Bennett, I know you've been shying away from running pictures of Spider-Man. That was Jameson's way of doing things. Kid, we're not the Bugle anymore. We're the DB. We see a series of action shots of Spider-Man taking down Shocker and other low-level goons in a whirlwind of webs and red-blue spandex. As Peter says, I know, sir, but this isn't one Spidey story. It's a series. Night after night, he's been taking out the key infrastructure of multiple crime empires. Inside the bustling newsroom, a disinterested bow-tie-wearing editor listens to Pete as he says, this is major news. No one's cleaned up the city like this in years. Robbie, Pete's got a point, Dex. So, you want me to waste space on my tabloid showing Spider-Man being competent? That doesn't sell papers, Robbie. Now get me a pic of a gal saying she's the webhead's baby mama. Then you might have something, but not today. Goodbye, Mr. Barker. As Peter and Robbie walk through the hallway, Peter frustrated as he says, he's never going to get my name right, will he? Robbie, no, he won't, Pete. Wait up, there's something I want to tell you. It's a little embarrassing. For a while I thought you were Spider-Man. I know it sounds crazy. Yet, I just couldn't shake it. But then one day I could. It was like, Peter, magic? Well, I wouldn't put it like that, but it made me rethink everything I do know about you. Robbie pulls Peter to the side, adopting a warm fatherly tone. He confesses that he always noticed Peter's brilliance, but couldn't quite figure out why he was constantly disappearing. While he suspected a mysterious second life, he tells Peter, "You were exactly who you appeared to be, kid. Sneaking off to take pictures of Spider-Man, to pay his rent, to look after his aunt, to be the most responsible young man in the world. What I'm trying to say, if things are tough more than anyone, I know you'll figure it out." As Peter responds, "Thanks, Robbie. And there's nothing to worry about. Aunt May says she has something lined up for me, and she always knows what I need." As we cut to Pete walking with Aunt May at the Fisk Project Community Center, Peter, desperate for financial stability, assumes he's heading toward a much-needed paycheck. As Aunt May explains, the financial bubble bursts as Peter says, "You want me to work at the homeless shelter? I thought you said it was a paying gig." May, "Oh no, dear. I said it would be rewarding, and there's nothing more rewarding, Peter, than helping others." May goes and introduces Peter to the staff, and then Martin Lee. As Peter shakes his hand, he says, "And you're Martin Lee, the wealthy philanthropist who makes all of this work. We've already met, Martin. Good to see you again, Pete. May thinks the world of you." Martin Lee leads Peter to the computer lab as he outlines the mission. "We want to give people the skills they need to find work and strike out on their own. To the end, I'd like you to teach our residents bare bones computer class." As we see a red-headed kid already on the terminal playing games. Lee introduces Bailey Briggs, meet Peter Parker. He's going to start teaching computer classes here. As the kid responds, "Wow, teaching here? Guess you can find anything else." Peter stares down the kid. "What an annoyingly accurate kid. I really dislike you, and yet somehow I'll live." Lee, "Can you start tomorrow?" Peter, "Well, like the kid said, where else can I go?" "Well, I think you're lucky to have you, Mr. Parker. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some business to attend to." Night falls as we see a sleek black limousine pull up. Martin Lee steps inside, but the driver isn't his usual man. As the masked man says, "I'm not here for you, Martin. I'll wait till you change into something more appropriate." Martin Lee becomes Mr. Negative. The driver asks, "Where to, boss?" "My most recent acquisition up in the Bronx." As Mr. Negative enters a drug lab, workers in hazmat suits toil under the watchful eye of masked enforcers as he yells, "Don't look up, keep working. If anything, my presence here means you had better pick up the pace. Your output may have been good enough for the former Magia employers, and if they're the ones you wish to please, you can also join them in the East River." Continues yelling, "Now I wish to see that sad excuse of a manager who's running this operation." As we see Spider-Man on the rooftop, radioing in to Yuri, he says, "Yuri, come in. I need you to keep your men back. This one might take a while. And that's if we can make a move tonight at all." Yuri, parked in the street below, "What do you mean, if? You said you could be the largest drug bust of the decade. I mean, if we all live to talk about it, Mr. Negative is here." "Whoa, and his inner demons? An army of them, Yuri." We see the Punisher is also there as he listens on the scanner. "This might be out of our league, so what's the plan, neighbor?" "I'm going in. They'll play it nice, slow, and super stealthy." "Okay, kiddo, this is your show. You call the shots." As we cut to a chilling close-up of Punisher, who's preparing for the action. Spider-Man is seen dropping down from the ceiling like a ghost hanging upside down. With a song in his head, he slowly and quietly snatches each guard one by one. He's a blur of motion, sticking and web gagging each guard before the man can even process what's happening. He's slowly walking down the side of a crate when suddenly his spider sense blares like a siren. Something's wrong as he says, "Huh? Spider sense? Why?" Punisher crashes through the door of the warehouse. The van plows through the lab equipment, sending masked goons flying. The stealthy approach is officially dead, replaced by a hail of lead and fire. Spider-Man peeks around the corner, his eyes wide in disbelief as he says, "So much for stealth." Mr. Negative and his guards are jolted by the chaos. "What in 18 levels of hell? Boss, he came out of nowhere. I have eyes, I can see. That's..." The one-man war on crime has officially arrived. Castle leaps from his van, dual-wielding submachine guns and raining down a torrential storm of lead. He is the personification of lethal intent. The demons are shredded, bullets tear through their suits and masks in a brutal display of efficiency. Spider-Man flips through the chaos, desperately trying to land non-lethal blows while screaming at Punisher, "Damn it, Castle! I had this!" Punisher, "Save me your speeches, Spider. These men are garbage. All you have is a slap on the wrist. I have the solution." Punisher levels a shotgun as Spidey delivers a punch to a masked goon. "You haven't fought the inner demons before, have you, Frank?" Punisher, "That's the difference between us, Bug. I never have to fight the same guys twice." Spidey and Punisher stand back to back as the dead guards begin to twitch and rise. The warehouse is filled with the sound of snapping bones and shifting shadows. Spidey, "Well, I guess there's a first time for everything, right?" Punisher, "What in God's name?" Spidey, "Mr. Negative's goons, they're like zombies, Frank. They don't die." A close-up of Frank's face reveals his frustration. He's used to things staying dead when he shoots them. "Why won't these mother-loving freaks stay down?" Spider-Man dodges a glowing energy blade as he says, "It's annoying, right? They just keep popping up like daisies." Punisher says, "Shut up and do something," as we see them overwhelm him. "What, like discreetly web them up one at a time? Man, I hate you. Oh, like this is my fault." Mr. Negative appears through the mist. His enforcers have Punisher pinned as he says, "Mr. Castle, so we finally meet. There are so many matters I wish to discuss with you." Punisher looks up and goes, "Yeah? Well, all I gotta say to you is drop dead." Mr. Negative reaches out his hand, presses it against Frank's face as he says, "I'm sure we'll make a connection." As we see Spider-Man standing over a pile of unconscious goons, he turns around and yells, "Frank, what do you say, truce? I think I'm gonna get out of this one. I'm gonna need you on my side." As he looks up and goes, "Crap." He sees Frank under the control of Mr. Negative, standing over him with his gun drawn. The one-man war has just switched sides. Next time, Dark Castle. And this concludes this issue of Spectacular Spider-Man, Issue 1, Brand New Day. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.